Federal and local law enforcement agents were prepared for a confrontation on Molokai today, but there was no blockade of a tour boat that had been turned away once before. KITV4's Catherine Cruz tells us more.
Law enforcement officers came down on a lone paddler out for exercise who didn't realize the area was off limits. An hour and a half before and after the American Safari cruise vessel pulled into port, Coast Guard and state law enforcement officers were on the water, while county police, state sheriffs, and other federal agents were on shore.
Molokai doesn't want you here!
The state had reached a compromise with community leaders that there would not be a blockade on the water, but some say the high security plan still backfired.
Most of the protest today was not really against the cruise ship people. It was against the strong-arming tactics from the governor. Way too heavy-handed, way waste of taxpayers' money. It's almost like ridiculous.
They're upset with the large presence here. I think if they were in our shoes, they would recognize that we have to make sure that we have enough personnel on hand to assure that law and order occurs, as well as making sure that everybody is safe.
A community grassroots group organized to help protect the island's resources and who had been negotiating with the state said it was not part of today's protest, but
we're a small island. Our protesters have not been violent and they have not been threatening, and so this was very excessive in our opinion.
The group expects to keep negotiating with the state over future visits by other tour groups.
We want to have control over the kinds of unchecked growth that has happened on all of the other islands.
One passenger we talked to who declined to go on camera said he wasn't too bothered by the protest, but crew members said they felt bad.
I was surprised and kind of sad to be welcomed to an island like that.
The Coast Guard, which brought in crews from California to help enforce the law, was glad the community abided by the deal to not get in the water.
We're going to have our team stay overnight, and they will assist with the departure in the morning. And then we'll be evaluating with our state partners whether we need to enforce the zone in the future.
There's no telling what will happen the next time the Safari Explorer pulls into port. The friendly isle, not so friendly this time. On Molokai, Catherine Cruz, KITV4 News. The dock at Molokai was closed to traffic for more than 3 hours. That hurt some small charter businesses that normally leave the wharf in the early morning hours. Some shut down entirely. Others stuck it out after being told they could have access 15 minutes after the Safari Explorer docked, although it didn't turn out that way.
You know, that man there, 18 passengers for his boat, you have to cancel, that kind of thing. Something's not quite right.
This couple from Canada, who had been waiting for several hours, canceled their snorkeling tour after the winds picked up. But they sympathized with the demonstrators, saying they have seen what big ships can do to small towns in the Yukon.
Some places are okay for cruise ships, and some places should be left alone.
State Land Director William Isla apologized that the closure took longer than expected. He said the agencies would be evaluating the security plan to see if it should be adjusted during the next visit of the tour vessel.